This episode of Nintendo Expansion Pass is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and lots of excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. Welcome to the show. Glad you could be here.
Of course, I have to be here. I'm the host.
I know. That was the joke. I'm glad I have to explain a joke to you, Edward. If that's even your real name.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Edward Delano right now. Which I actually thought my middle name was Delaware, but it's not.
I have a new hoodie on, Ed.
Yes! I own Nintendo Power Block hoodie, yes!
Yeah. It's fun.
Which I still have to order mine.
I thought it was going to be too small, but it's stretching itself out, so it's fine. If I was any bigger, it'd be too small.
But you have been on your weight journey, and you've been doing really good. So
I know, dude. It's torture, man. During the week, it's torture. It's torture, man. I can't. It's like, so.
But you're doing good.
Yeah. I don't know what I've lost, but it's a significant amount. I don't know offhand.
Do you does your Apple, I'm about to say Apple Watch, I mean your iPhone keeps track,
Yeah, well, here's what I did. Okay, let me see. I know this is boring for people, but you'll get over it. So as of last Saturday, 5 days ago Saturday, I've lost 57.2 pounds. And let's see. So I've been doing that since the beginning of July, the first week of July. So, and it's October. So, my goal is 100 pounds. So we'll check back in. My real goal is 120, but 100 would be a major milestone, I think. So, but yeah, here I am. Here I am once again, torn into pieces. Sorry, I didn't want to get us a copyright strike. But yeah, this hoodie wouldn't have fit 3 months ago.
Is that Avril Lavigne?
I think so.
Probably.
No, it's Kelly Clarkson, dude. Behind these hazel eyes. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's I thinking? Can't believe you on your music tip today. All right.
You're welcome. You know how I am with guilty pleasures. So
that's what everybody can see.
Most of the things that I like in entertainment are quote unquote geared towards women. So here we are.
Yes.
But unlike Kelly Clarkson, the Switch is geared towards everybody.
Yes.
There, I got us back on track. That's a first.
Well, it would be geared to Jim Ryan after the news broke out with him. Oh, good googly moogly. What a day that was.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, and then the Epic stuff today too, man. And the Creative Assembly stuff today.
Now, what is with the Creative Assembly? So
Sega had them working on that kind of PvE shooter, Hyenas, which has gotten middling previews at events and stuff, right? And they showed it. They showed it at Gamescom, I think, too. But because it was their attempt at another game as a service, or that type of game. There needs to be a better name for that. And Sega decided to not publish it, even though it's like literally 2 or 3 months from being done. It was supposed to come out in February, I think. And Creative Assembly has to lay people off because they canceled the game. It's been in development for like 3.5 years. So,
Wow.
which is sad because Creative Assembly, I think that, I mean, they're really big in like the RTS realm. I know they have a couple RTS games coming out, but yeah, it's sad. All these, I mean, Crystal Dynamics had layoffs last week. I mean, the who else? Oh, the Epic one, man. That was rough. Almost 900 people being like
jobs. Because of Fortnite not making them same amount of money it used to.
No, it's not. It's not that they've been using the Fortnite money to, they opened the Epic store, which they are losing money by the day on that thing. And they're really trying to bolster the Unreal 5 engine to do things that the other engines can't. Right? I mean, movie studios are using Unreal Engine 5, and they've been investing a lot in that, and just Sweeney came out today and said that it was they thought they could weather the storm, and they just haven't been. They just can't. So
the returns are not up.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Plus, they did the developer deal where it's like a 88-12 split instead of a 30-70 split too. So they're not making as much money. And then they just announced that any game that comes with the Epic Store exclusively gets to keep all their money for the first 6 months too, which means they're not bringing in any money. So
right.
And man, they just really shot themselves in the foot. Especially with like the Unity stuff that just came out, right? Like, oh man.
Well, I think it was because people definitely with like Microsoft and Sony, more people were planning to be using Unreal Engine 5 for next
gen. All of Microsoft studios except for a select few are using Unreal, right? Coalition, the next Halo is going to be on Unreal, Hellblade's on Unreal, Gears. I think the only games that aren't on Unreal now are like Starfield and Bethesda's games, and then like Machine Games and id both use id Tech 6.0, and select a Fable is using the Forza engine. So I mean, there's Unreal is like, and also like Sony uses their proprietary. All their studios use proprietary engines, I think. So, except for Sony Bend uses Unreal.
I know Guerrilla Games engine. The Horizon. Yeah, that has become like the main engine for them. But I don't know.
No, it's only for Horizon. It's only for Horizon, and Kojima uses it.
Death Stranding.
But Naughty Dog has their own engine that they use internally.
Okay.
Because I think God of War might use it. Don't take that. I haven't turned that game on in like a year, so I can't.
So God of War doesn't use Unreal. They have their own engine.
They have their own engine. Yeah.
Yeah. Santa Monica has their own. I know Nintendo has used Unreal for Pikmin 5.
They use it for Pikmin 4 and Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh, Pikmin 4. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Once again, I thought they had used it for Zelda. I thought that was it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they were talking about using it for most things moving forward, but and they still might when the next Switch comes out, right? But I just I don't know if Unreal 5 can handle the Switch very well. I mean, Fortnite, like I get Fortnite runs on the Switch, but it doesn't run very well anymore. And also that's Epic internally, so they know the engine better than anyone. So
yeah, and it's kind of weird that all of these layoffs are happening because it's just coming out of nowhere. Like,
here's the thing. I mean, and the embracer stuff is a whole nother story. But like, I work in an industry where people get laid off all the time. Like, we work with companies like Intel and Dell and companies like that, and it's they're laying people off all the time, like all the time, especially right now because like the economy is quote unquote bad. And, I mean, it's getting better, right? But like, it's rough out there, man, for jobs. If you're not bringing in money, you can't keep people on.
Right.
That's just the. I mean, I get that people make companies make bad decisions sometimes that cost them money. I mean, look at the original THQ, right? I mean, that was, man, that whole company bet on that UDraw thing, and it tanked them
because they thought they could spread it around. Because like UDraw did do good on Wii.
Yeah, on Wii, and then they made the HD versions, and nobody wanted them.
Right.
So that's I don't know, man. That's rough. That's really rough.
And then the NFT story is just like folks don't have no money. Like all majority of NFTs are worthless. And, And what was funny about it is that Square Enix was so hard on NFTs, saying that was the rather.
A lot of companies. Ubisoft did too.
Yeah. And now it's just like, what happens now with their business strategy? Does it change?
I mean, Sega and Square already said they're backing out, and I think Ubisoft said they're backing out too. So, I mean, NFTs were like a 2-year-long fad that nobody believed in except for these companies, the big companies, right? So,
right.
I mean, we all thought it was a joke, right? I mean, when people first said the letters NFT together, it was like, that there's no way. You just copy a JPEG of the image and you have it. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? People are dumb. You know what's not dumb though, Ed? Handheld gaming.
Yes.
I'm changing topics again.
Yes. So everybody, we are doing another. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we're gonna probably cover this on an episode of Nintendo Pal Block. It's probably already out by the time you hear this expansion pass. So I don't want to get into it now because we're gonna have a huge conversation on all this on Monday, Ed. Right? Because I mean, there's no Nintendo news, so that we're gonna talk about all this garbage.
True. Unless something happens between now and Monday. Yeah, good googly moogly.
I hope not, man. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't have time to handle this stuff on a Friday.
Especially with the FTC being cynical again. Good googly moogly. But everybody, we are doing another Nintendo Time Capsule episode. This time, we are going to be focused on the Game Boy Advance, and the Nintendo DS. And the thing
did we not do the Game Boy in the last episode?
No, we only did consoles.
Are you sure? I remember doing saying Tetris at one point. I don't.
Right, you said Tetris for Nintendo because we did NES, Super Nintendo, and N64. So now we didn't do handhelds.
We did Game Boy. We did Game Boy. We did NES, Game Boy, and Super Nintendo.
I thought we did N64.
I'm looking at it right now. I think we were going in order. Was the plan like 3 consoles per episode or 3 Nintendo products per episode? I thought originally we did consoles and then handhelds, but we did Game Boy. So no, remember I was talking about Tetris for NES, and then I was like, no, because that's going to be Game Boy, and I picked Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong something or other.
I think you actually titled. So last episode that came out for a special pass, I think you mistitled it because we didn't talk
Time
about
Capsule Games Part 1 is what it's called.
Right, but we didn't do a time capsule one. The last one that came out.
Well, the last episode of Expansion Pass
that had just dropped. It has the name, it has that thing about the time capsule thing, but we didn't talk about it because we was talking about the changes that was happening.
It's because this it's the early access. We still have one that hasn't published yet. We still on YouTube and free feeds. That we did the Nintendo Switch 2 launch lineup. What we want is the one that's not on free feeds right now.
Right.
That which was the last one that we did.
Right, but the one that came out live on YouTube for everybody had it where it says that we did the time capsule, but we literally talked about the changes that was happening with expansion pass. And then we started talking about all this other stuff. We didn't do the time capsule. The title is weird. What's weird? I'm like, did he title this wrong? Is this? I don't know. But well, I guess we could do Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and N64 did.
Okay.
Yes.
So wait, what are we doing? Game Boy or what?
Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo DS and the N64. It would normally be Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, and then no, actually
we skip. Well, we included. All right, we included Game Boy Color and with the Game Boy games. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then where is that episode? What do you? What this is? Oh well, I'm confused, but that's okay.
We'll end it on N64, but we'll do Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, and then N64.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay. I know we got GameCube, Wii U, and Switch, and then really Nintendo 3DS would be like would be its own last handheld.
Yeah. Okay. So. I have to. Man, did I upload the wrong episode for that? I'm really confused right now.
You didn't upload the wrong episode. It's titled wrong. What's the thing about it?
Oh well, I'll figure it out later.
Yes. So, Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Game Boy Advance. Okay, time capsule games. Yes, I'm going first. We're each picking 5, right? That's what we're
3.
Doing. 3.
We did 3. Yeah.
Give me. Oh, okay. All right. Well, my first choice is Super Mario Advance, which is the Game Boy Advance port of Mario 2. It's the best version by far.
Oh, nice.
I mean, you and I talk a lot about how much we love Mario 2. I think this is the best version. Graphically, the way it plays, the music sounds better. Like it's an incredible version. And is it on NSO yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would play it. Everybody out there who has expansion pack on NSO, you should play that version of Mario 2. It's the best version. It's the cleanest version. Go play it.
I know I need to play that one and run through it and do all the levels for it. Because
you can skip levels, right? Yeah.
Yes, you can warp and skip levels. I've beaten it on the NES, the original Super Mario Bros. 2. But and I beat the Super Nintendo one also. But I never beat the Game Boy Advance version.
Okie doke. But yeah, Mario Advance is awesome. All the Mario Advance games are awesome, but that's the one you should play first.
Okay. I'm going to start with an obscure one.
Of course you are.
But it's Astro Boy Omega Factor, and this was
a lot of people like that game.
Yeah, it was developed by Treasure and everything, and I think
game. Shocker, Ed chose a Treasure game. What's he going to choose next? A Way Forward game?
Not yet.
Although Shantae is very
That's
good on the Game Boy Advance.
the way for us for Wii, trust me. And everybody already know what that game is, so we won't go for it.
Huh.
But trust me, I think the Wii one we may do 5 games because like I had to throw Zack and Wiki on that list because that
Oh
game
man,
is so
Zack and
good.
Wiki is awesome. It's one of the few Wii games I actually really like. I hate
Yeah,
the Wii.
see the GameCube one is going to be hard. I think we may have to do 5 games for that one too because like yeah. Uh, but yeah, Astro Boy Omega Factor. It was like a shoot 'em up game, featuring Astro Boy. I think this is when the movie came out and everything. Uh, because I think there was different games of Astro Boy that came out, but Treasure did the GBA one.
Mhm.
Great sprites. Uh, they said the music was really good in it, so I'm gonna do Astro Boy Omega Factor. You know, throw some anime in there.
Oh man. Well, I guess I'm gonna pick another obscure one because I played the crap out of this game on the Game Boy Advance. But this game. I think the console version is better, but I think the fact that they even got this game on the Game Boy Advance and it ran and it was fun. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the Game Boy Advance. I think it's a time and place game. I think the
Ooh.
game, because it's isometric, it kind of reminds me of like 720 or Skate or Die or whatever.
Oh wow! Hold
And
on 1 second. How do you know about 720?
what do you mean? I had it.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you wouldn't know nothing about
And then
720
they
because
and then they remade 720 for Game Boy Advance as well. So a Tony Hawk like took me back to 720, and it was like it was really really good. Like all the levels were intact, all the skaters were there, the progression was there. The only thing was that it was isometric instead of behind the shoulder or whatever, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Surprisingly, uh, almost liked it better than the console versions in some ways. I liked how you could kind of see more of the level. I thought they integrated the tricks into it because I mean, remember like Tony Hawk on like PS1 and Dreamcast and N64 and stuff utilized 6 buttons for six buttons for tricks, and the Game Boy Advance only had 4. And
yes.
so the way they integrated the tricks with 4 buttons was really smart too. So shout out. Shout out to Tony Hawk on Game Boy Advance. They also made Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which was exactly the same, but like in some ways not as good just because Tony Hawk 3 is not as good as, as Tony Hawk 2. So,
All
yeah.
right. Well, my number 2 is going to be Final Fight 1. And
Final Fight
this
1.
one, yes. So,
Jeez.
for people who don't know, Final Fight came to the Super Nintendo. And if anyone knows the arcade game, it had the characters Cody, Guy, and Hager.
Uh-huh.
Well, for the Super Nintendo one, it was only one player, and they took out Guy for it. But then they made Final Fight Guy, which I think was also 2 players, but they only put Cody and Guy in that one. So Final Fight 1 is 2 player, and they have all 3 of them in there. They have Cody, Guy, and Hacker. So it's almost like the arcade game, but it's still like it's missing the. Everybody, this was a different time.
Oh no.
So, the poison at a time was trans. Because they didn't want to say that you were beating women up
Yeah.
with that game. So when Final Fight came out to the Super Nintendo, they replaced it with, once again, during that time, these twink punk looking boys.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but Capcom did say that Poison is a trans character.
Man,
To avoid saying that you were punching women back in the 90s.
the 80s were a weird time, man.
Yes. But this was mostly in the 90s because that's when Final Fight was out.
Well,
So,
you know what I mean.
yeah.
It was 30 years ago was very different than it is now.
Yes. But I remember buying that game, or not buying it, but getting it for my birthday and playing it on car trips and everything and
Yeah.
stuff. So, like, I was going to put Super Ghouls and Ghosts on Game Boy Advance, but that game was very, very difficult. Trust me. So, my number 2 is Final Fight 1.
Nice. So what? We're on number 3, right? Number 3. Oh boy, where do I go with number 3, Ed? There's so many very good choices here. I don't want to pick another Mario game. Minish Cap was great, but I think that's really obvious. Chain of Memories was pretty good. The Kingdom Hearts game that came out.
Yeah.
But
Which I think that started the confusion of the series.
I'm really tired of everybody saying Kingdom Hearts is confusing. It's not that confusing. Just pay attention. Stop looking at your phone while the story's going on.
No, it's not so much of the story. It's that Chain of Memories was supposed to be the connection to Kingdom Hearts 2. That's what it originally was.
It's the prequel to 2. It's like what takes place. It's like in between 1 and 2.
It was supposed to be that way, yes.
That's what it is. That's the story.
But the 358 over 2 days is happening while Chains of Memory is happening.
Yeah, because you're playing a different character.
Right, but that all didn't happen until Kingdom Hearts 2 actually came out.
Okay, so what? I don't understand what you're saying. People make in between games and prequels and things all the time.
Right, but that's why I said Chain of Memories was the start of where the game started getting confusing because
confusing
as it
Did
took a long time for Chain of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
I never played Chain of Memories.
Oh, then what are you talking about? You have no room to talk. Let's move on.
I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts 2 was supposed to come out, but if we follow where
between 1 and 2.
Right, but
anyways, it was my third game. I don't have time to rant about Kingdom Hearts when everybody just doesn't pay attention or play it in your case. Let's see. The number 3 game. You got me all flustered now. I'm gonna put Metroid Zero Mission.
Dang it, that was mine.
Well, got to pick a new one. I mean that's
easy.
Metroid 1 is one of my favorite NES games, and the fact that they remade it and added more to it was really awesome.
Yeah.
I have two ports on my list. Whatever, it's fine. 3 ports actually. So,
which of course, if you're gonna go with Zero Mission, of course I'm gonna go with Fusion. Fusion was Metroid Fusion. Not only was it kind of a little bit survival horror-ish, that game was hard. They really, I mean, even though it was linear, it really challenged you because regardless of what suit that you had on, the enemies were taking off a lot of energy. And sometimes you wouldn't get the X parasite to grab onto you, to use and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Fusion is on NSO, I don't think Zero Mission is not there yet. That's what everybody is waiting for. Because Zero Mission is.
I'll get there.
I never finished the original Metroid.
That
but
game's
I
hard,
did finish. Yeah, but
especially when you're like 7 or 8 trying to play it.
Well, it was. I mean, I did the code to beat the game, but it was just like I didn't realize a game like Metroid that doesn't tell you anything. You had to kind of figure out where everything was going.
Mm-hmm.
Where to go with stuff. Uh, and
Yeah.
so I think when Super Metroid definitely came out, because like even Return of Samus uh on Game Boy, it was kind of still like that confusing thing. When they put a map in Super Metroid, that kind of changed like the whole series in general and stuff. So when they went back and redid Metroid with Metroid Zero Mission, I think more people recommended that because not only was it easier to get through, it was a more detailed story. You was able to understand more about Samus and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Oh man, Game Boy Advance. What a
Yes.
little handheld that could.
Yes.
I really wish that console would last longer, or maybe I don't know. I really
I
like
think
that
it kind
console
of
a lot.
I kind of feel like it did last longer because of like the SP stuff that was coming out.
Yeah. Plus, like I mean, the first 2 iterations of DS also had the Game Boy Advance um, slot in the bottom,
Yeah.
which was also very nice.
Man, I swear that second version of the DS was just like perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had the blue one of the regular DS, and then when they like fixed the screen and gave it that nice shiny casing and stuff, because I had the black one, man, I was just like, yeah, this is handheld gaming for the future.
Yeah.
So,
So,
uh,
all right,
Nintendo
Ed. What's
DS.
next? What do we do next? What's happening?
So we're going to Nintendo DS, and I'm going to start this one with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Ooh, now on Game Pass, by the way, if you have an Xbox, or it's coming in
Oh,
like a week or so.
yeah, because they're also getting the Ace Attorney games and everything, so they'll be catching up to Nintendo
Yeah,
with that. Uh,
Phoenix Wright's coming
the,
in the spring. So
oh yeah, the original trilogy. Yeah, they showed it at Tokyo Game Show during for Xbox. The reason why I put this one on here was that originally in Japan it came out on the Game Boy Advance, but they kind of redid it and reworked it to be like a kind of adventure game for the DS. The thing about it was that it became a bargain bin game. So when it was 1999 at GameStop and they had all of these copies, people started picking it up because I remember buying it at GameStop for
mhm.
1999, and after I bought it, it just started selling everywhere. And Capcom didn't know why this game was getting popular. And so we got the first one, and then we got the second game, and then the third one, and then Miles Edgeworth. We were getting more games, and people were really how funny the localization was because it was a game that really came out of nowhere. Like I don't even think EGM or Game Informer or anyone covered it. It just literally showed up in a bargain bin with Capcom's name on it for me. And I
Yeah,
remember getting it and just like loving this game and laughing. And it came,
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was.
even though it's forced, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you finished. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, even though it was like 4 cases with it, I think it had a bonus case with it. They were long. These cases were long, and I think it felt good being like, even though you are a lawyer, playing this venture style game and making you feel like a detective, because I love mysteries. That's one of my
Mhm.
genres I really love. It really felt good. It's just trying to get the logic for some stuff just like was really great.
Yeah, I remember that was also a time, right, when stuff like Brain Age was really big, and they kind of took advantage of that popularity with something like this, because like
Uh,
it doesn't require that much. It doesn't require that much, game knowledge. You just have to pick, make your choices, and So I think that was really a smart approach to that too.
man, the budget titles on the DS just
Huh.
blew because I love crossword
Remember,
crossword. Oh,
speaking of budget titles, real quick, do you remember Electroplankton? How cheap that game was, and then it became like the eBay hunt of the year.
yep,
Oh
yep.
man, Electroplankton, man! I saw it in a GameStop one time for $40, and I should have bought it, and I didn't.
We had it at Toys R Us for like $3.
Man,
We
it's like
had that.
the Animal Crossing amiibos all over again. They were all a
We had
dollar
the,
until Animal Crossing came out.
yeah, we had the N plus stuff. I mean, of course, we had like the Barbie games and stuff. Like Toys R Us had the 1999 and less bids uh for games and stuff.
Mhm. Man,
Shoot, that's how Cooking Mama got Majesco money. Put
God,
them in
Cookie Mama,
business.
man. I keep forgetting about Cookie Mama.
Hey, it put the mugs in the black.
Yeah, I know.
Cause I think whatever game that was it 360. I think it was some game they was hyping up for 360 Advent something. Uh,
Advent Rising?
Advent Rising.
God, I forgot about that game.
That
Not that
it
anybody wants
came
to remember it.
Majesco bet it hard on that game, and it failed and almost bankrupted them. But Cookie Mama came out for $20 and it kept them in the black. It actually got them to stay afloat. So that's why Majesco at one point in time was selling a lot of Cookie Mama games
Mhm.
because it was like it was the thing that was keeping them afloat. They were selling the money and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Man, Cooking Mama. It's my turn, right?
Yes.
Let's see. DS. I would have to say, man. Mario Kart DS for sure is this. It's the second best
Yes.
Mario Kart in my opinion, behind 8. And this was like the first Mario Kart I really seriously got into. It was awesome. It had the best tracks. I still think it has some of the best tracks. It just felt really good to play. A good character selection. I think the items were weighted pretty fairly. It's an amazing Mario Kart. If you have a 3DS lying around and you can find Mario Kart DS, find it. Like Mario Kart 7 was pretty good too, but like
Uh,
it just felt like more of Mario Kart DS really. So Mario Kart DS is so good. It's so good, and it
so
came in the red case.
yes.
Remember when Nintendo
Yeah.
put all the Mario games in red cases for
Rare
some reason?
cases.
So
Yeah.
stupid, man.
So uh side story, everybody, about
Oh boy,
this.
here we go.
Uh, this game helped me find a gay gaming group uh, with some people that I met and became friends, and we challenged each other in the in Mario Kart. And some people didn't have the game. I think you could do ghost racing,
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
because
that.
it had that networking thing where like you could play all from the same cart, but everybody had to be Shy Guy that didn't have a cartridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And one of my friends, still friends to with them this very day, uh, he's just so amazing at Mario Kart. I was getting my tail kicked. I was losing and stuff. Uh, but it was so great to meet other gamers in that group and just have such a fun time playing playing playing, on it and everything. And this was my first time driving to Chicago uh to meet them. Because I'm like, at the time I was only driving like to work in local places and stuff, and I'm just like, I've never drove out to the city.
Hmm.
And so I drove out there for the first time, and um, I met them, and I had a great time and everything.
Nice. Oh man, Nintendo Life put all their like best of Switch stuff out here. Nice. I'm gonna look at those lists later. Um, so it's your turn now, right? Yeah.
Yes. So
Sorry,
mine
I got distracted by
is
these lists.
mine is Mario and Luigi Inside Bowser's Story.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The best comedic Mario game. I love Thousand Year Door. I love Origami King, but I have cracked up super hard, holding my laugh in, almost in tears at the writing and just the stuff that happens in this game. Uh, and this is at the time where I was working at Penny's and I was buying my own games and stuff. And I bought this game not so much on a whim, but I think it was definitely with me being a big Nintendo fan. I'm like, I gotta try to own all the Nintendo stuff as much as I can. And so uh not having played any of the Mario and Luigi games in the past, this was my first one. And so just reading the localization and just seeing how funny it was, it's still one of my favorite all-time games. Uh, you know, and I went and rave about it because it's just so funny. You as Bowser sucking up the peppermint lollipops from the Goombas, and they wanted to make crying, and you get health for it. And switching between Mario, Luigi, and Bowser and everything, and changing up the gameplay. Like I could do a vertical shoot 'em up with Mario, Luigi flying. And stuff. And it's just such a great innovative game, and I just love it. So that's my number two, Mario Luigi's Inside Bowser's Story.
Nice. All right, so let me think. DS, man. I gotta really think of this one. Let's see, man. This is hard. There were so many bangers on the DS.
I'm shocked that you haven't played one of them. And to let everybody know before you go, Corey, I did not put Hotel Dust Brew 213 because as much as I love that game and I believe it should be on it, that's too much of a given for that one for me. So I decided not to put that one on it. Yes, but I literally thought that you would put another version of this game on here, but I don't know if you ever played it though.
Here's okay. I have a pick here, Ed. Okay. If you like Pokemon and you like Fire Emblem, the DS has a game for you. Pokemon Conquest might be the most interesting Pokemon game that's ever come out.
Love that game.
Yeah, man. It's like it's a tactical RPG based on what is it? It's Nobunaga's Ambition.
Yes,
with Pokemon, and they have like you just kind of fight through that history with Pokemon, but it's like really interesting and fun, and the strategy is really important, and it's really difficult, but it is incredibly fun. I like seeing Pokemon in different time periods. As much as I'm not like a huge fan of Pokemon, I think it's interesting that it takes place.
Was Tecmo part of this development or Bandai?
It was Tecmo Koei.
Okay. Was this before?
This was at the very this came out in March of 2012 in Japan, in June here. And it was like
So
right
this
at the
is
end of this is like right at the end of the DS life cycle. The 3DS might have already been out at this point. Yeah, I
what?
think the 3DS might have already been out at this point because Pokemon Black and White were already out, and the
Uh,
sequels were also getting ready to come out, and those were out when the 3DS came out. So,
was this during? Was this when we found out they was having a good relationship because of Metroid Other M?
I
What's
don't
go?
remember,
Ooh,
to be
I'm
honest.
at I'm at the look.
Yeah, but that's my pick, man. It's really good,
And
man.
I love the box art to that game.
Yeah,
Box
the
art
box art's
so
pretty cool too.
good.
Yeah,
Uh, so I didn't pick this one. I thought you would say Tetris DS.
I never played Tetris DS.
Really?
I wanted it really bad, and I could never find it, so I never played it.
If I
Although
ever find it,
I heard it's really good, but
it's super addictive. It's really, really good. If I find my copy, I'm gonna have to ship it to
no,
you.
I don't need it. I have two really great versions of three on the Switch. So I have Puyo Puyo Tetris, I have Tetris Effect, and I have Game Boy Tetris. Game Boy Tetris is on NSO, right? I don't remember. I think it
Yes,
is. I think
yes.
it is. Yeah. So yeah, I don't need Tetris
Was
DS.
it? Is it an NES Tetris on there too?
I don't remember. I
I
could
think
turn my
it
Switch on.
is.
The controller is literally right in front of me, but I don't feel like it. So
I was about to say, do it.
okay,
I don't
whatever.
know.
Let's see. Oh man, my cool Splatoon controller because I couldn't get the Zelda one, so you know, I really wish they bring those controllers back out. By the way, oh man, I've been
I
playing
still,
Xbox so long. All right, where
dude, I
is?
still have my Zelda controller still in the box.
Oh man, I want that thing so bad, but it's fine. I have 4 Switch controllers. I don't think I need another one, but I would like it. Oh, a download? Come on. What did you say? NES Tetris?
Yeah.
Checking to see if software can be played. Oh, download. Come on. I don't have time for this.
You haven't updated your NSO.
Dude, I haven't. Dude, no. I was playing Oxenfree and Oxenfree 2. I haven't played the retro stuff in so long.
Oh, I
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see, Ed. Yes, I'm aware that there's cloud data uploaded that isn't this one.
I sometimes hate that.
I know. I don't care, man. I know I have 3 Switches. I don't need you to tell me that. All right, let's see. Sort by title. Here we go. So Tetris would be kind of at the bottom. Super Mario Brothers, Tecmo Bowl, Tennis. Nope, not on here. Tetris for NES is not on here.
Oh, interesting.
So let's check Game Boy. Is it? Are you sure? Anyways, continue with your pick. I picked mine.
So for me, I chose A Link Between Worlds. Because
it's not on DS. It's on 3DS.
oh dang it, I wrote the wrong thing down.
You have to pick Spirit Tracks or the other one, Phantom Hourglass.
I do not like those two neither.
I know, I hate those games. I don't
Castle,
like controlling. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, go ahead. No,
I was just going to say that I hate the controlling Link with the control stick, or not the controls, the stylus.
Link Between Worlds is Nintendo 3DS. Oh goodness,
Man, that game though was a banger.
So good. It actually for me would be Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. With it. Because it was the first time like using the stylus and doing shapes and everything, and it was my first Nintendo DS game that I bought when I got my system, when I got the blue fat one.
Mm.
I love that game and everything. That's when I was really into the Metroidvanias
Mhm.
with it and stuff. Like, of course, uh, oh yeah, I forgot Ghost Trick also was on DS.
Mhm.
Love that game too.
Mm.
But everybody, Ghost Trick is on Switch, and you should buy it and play it and have a great time with it. But yeah, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, truly, truly love it. And I learned how to get into the second castle and everything with that game. But it was just so fun playing that game and doing using the stylus and everything. It was like a new way of play
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
So that is my
All right.
my
So
choice.
my third and final choice is actually New Super Mario Brothers. I
Oh,
love I
good
love
one.
New Super Mario Brothers, man. That game was I was so excited because like I mean, look, once the Nintendo 64 came out, I never thought we were going to get another 2D Mario ever again, right? Because
Uh,
everybody was so infatuated with 3D, you know? I mean, I mean, Nintendo has a console literally called 3DS. And so, like, and I know it doesn't mean graphics, it means, you know, whatever. But the fact that they put out a new 2D Mario game and it was so good, dude, I 100% of that game twice. It was so good. I love that game so much. It's my favorite DS game. I think it's really close between that and Mario Kart DS, but I think New Super Mario Brothers takes the cake. It's incredible. It's so good.
yeah. Shoot.
It's got impeccable level design. It's single player, right? So you don't have anybody annoying you, jumping on your head or anything. The power ups are
And it
cool. I think we
was
got the penguin suit in that one, right? That was the introduction of the
I think
penguin
so.
suit. Um,
And I think that started the new line of
it
Super
did,
Mario Brothers.
yeah. Because then we got New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and then we got 2 on the 3DS, which was also awesome. I know people hate it
Uh,
because there's so many coins, but I loved it. And then the Wii U one, I think, is the best one, and nobody played it because it was on the Wii U.
but then people did play it because it came on the Switch.
Yeah.
I think. Um, Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World,
Mhm.
are those separate ones?
3D Land and 3D World are the two, like they're not part of the new series.
Okay, because I always wondered, was 3D Land a remake of Super Mario Land?
No,
But it's not.
it's not. 3D Land, 3D, Super Mario 3D Land is literally Super Mario 3D World on the 3DS, but single player. That's all it is. It's pretty good. It's not as good as 3D World though.
3D World, yeah.
Nowhere near as close
Yeah.
as being as good. Still
So
good.
we got Super Mario Brothers 1 to 3. We got the 3D games like 3D Land and 3D World. We got the Galaxy games. That's its own series. Uh, we got the new series. We got the paper. We got the paper series. We got the sports Mario games. We got Mario Party. Like, man, Mario just has so many different series that he's
Yep.
in.
All the sports games. Um, Mario teaches typing. Mario is missing.
Hotel Mario, Mario missing. Yeah.
Oh man, what's your third game, Ed?
Uh. So, well, I already gave my third one. Did I? Yeah, Castlevania.
No, did you do
Yeah,
3? Okay,
yeah, I did my 3. You
I
was the
thought I
third
went
one.
first, but okay,
Well, you went first for Game Boy Advance. I went
right,
first for
okay,
DS.
okay.
So, we finally have reached Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and who You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a game that I think you actually hate, and it's going to be funny to watch your reaction. The best racing game on Nintendo 64, Diddy Kong Racing. It's so vastly superior to Mario 64. It's
Uh-huh.
not even funny. Not even funny how much better Diddy Kong Racing is. The adventure mode is fun. Being able to like have other vehicles other than carts. Also, the introduction of Conquer and Banjo, and the clock, TT, right? That's the clock's
Yeah.
name. And then other characters that they were supposed to make games with, like the tiger with the blue hat, right? Um, what an amazing game! So good, man. Then they made it for what? They made a new one for DS, right? That was kind of the
Yeah.
same, but not really, because they took all the rare characters out, so it just had a new cast of characters, and it definitely wasn't as good. But man, Diddy Kong Racing's incredible. An incredible game.
Yes.
Incredible.
For me, of course, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Uh, Majora's Mask could stay off the system,
Nope.
go somewhere.
It's the best. It's the
Uh,
best Zelda game. Superior. It's the superior Zelda game.
I go to Dragon Punch you. I was telling my manager, I was just like, "Come here, so I can throw you out the window, Mario 2 style." He kept running away. No, but Ocarina of Time putting 3D Zelda in 3D, but bringing it to Z targeting on and how that changed lock on for games with 3D. Uh, so many secrets, and just like the dungeons are great, the boss battles, uh Epona, sneaking out of the are the Gerudo?
Yeah. The jail.
Yeah.
Sneaking out of the jail. Oh, gross.
Yeah. And then just fighting Ganondorf at the end. And
Yeah.
stuff. And fighting your shadow or fighting the dark shadow when you both were fighting that that little spirit bomb or light bomb. I was just like, oh, this is so good and everything. So for me, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda.
Nice.
And what's your number two, Corey?
Oh, man. Part of me really wants to pick GoldenEye, but I know that game does not hold up very well. I mean, from a historical standpoint, it might be an interesting one. I have one. I have one that I really, really love this game, and I have thought about repurchasing it for my collection of N64 games so many times. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That game was awesome. It was like a third-person shooter with some space battle stuff, and Dash Rendar, which was like Luke's kind of like his bodyguard, sort of a smuggler like Han Solo. You're basically playing knockoff Han Solo. Let's be honest. Even his ship looked like looked like the Millennium Falcon in some respects, but it was really fun. I love. Oh man, where's that Switch port? They put all the other games on there. It's just an awesome game. I really love the final battle where it's like a third Death Star it's like technically the Death Star in the Return of the Jedi is the third one, because I mean, if this game's canon, I don't think it's canon anymore, but like the last level of this game is literally you blowing up a Death Star that's in construction, and because you couldn't make round circles on an N64, it was literally just like a cross shape, as like they were like the supports, but like the engines and some of the weapons were already working for like security purposes or whatever, and you got to fly out like Lando does in Return of the Jedi when they blow up the Death Star in the third one, and it's just awesome. I love it so much. And then like nobody ever knows if Dash Rendar made it out, and like the final like quote unquote cutscene is like Luke, Han, and Leia like looking out like a window of some starship, which like I don't know why. I don't know why Han isn't in there flying the Millennium Falcon, but like it's funny. They're like wondering if he got out, and then they never say. So shout out to the Empire. Also, shout out to Rogue Squadron, although it's like incredibly difficult. The Rogue Squadron games are incredibly difficult, man.
Yes, that I have to agree.
Oh man, but man, when Rogue Squadron 2 came to GameCube, man, oh my gosh, it was a visual masterpiece.
It's still to this very day such a top tier game.
Yeah, like dude, it's a visual masterpiece for the GameCube, and it was a launch game.
Yes, Factor 5.
Yeah,
like, and the crazy thing was just like, how did they do this?
I know, because they showed. Remember the trailer for the game, or like maybe it was like an E3 or Space World presentation. But they had Lucasfilm on stage, and they showed the game, and then they showed the special editions of the Star Wars trilogy, and you could hardly tell them apart.
Yes.
Like, I mean, at the time, you probably could definitely tell them apart now, but at the time, it was like, this looks better than the movie, right? And oh man, dude, just the first level being the trench run is like.
Yeah. Well, for me, Resident Evil 2, I didn't play it on PlayStation, but I rented that game on N64, and I remember, because I don't think it had a lot of the load times that the PlayStation 1 version had. But I remember playing that on N64 and loving that game. It's just like, okay, yeah, I'm back. This was the time that I had the Resident Evil series had got jumped for me, where I completed them. Like, I beat the original version of Resident Evil 1 on PlayStation 1. 2, I beat on N64. 3, I beat on Dreamcast. 4, I beat on GameCube. 5, I beat on PS3, and I haven't beat 6 yet. But that is planned for my spooky games for Halloween, for October.
Nice. Man, I am really debating. Are we really going to have a time capsule without Mario 64 on this?
I mean, it's a given. But I'm not. I'm just not choosing it because.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are definite shoe-ins.
Other Mario games.
Like, there are definite shoe-ins, right? I mean, even Ocarina of Time is a shoe-in, but it's like Mario 64 is so important in so many ways that it has to be in there, right? So I'm debating between like 3 different games right now.
I think Mario 64 is automatically in there without us even having to bring it up or anything, because it's just like, if 3D gaming was, I mean, yeah, we still had the PlayStation and everything, but the way that you control Mario with the analog stick and his fluid motions, like, there's no better way to describe how 3D gaming worked besides Mario 64 being an example on how well it can be done and executed.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking at this list of N64 games, and there are so many bangers on this list, man. All right, so I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick Star Fox 64.
Ooh, good one.
And introduce the Rumble Pack. The kind of find the best path forward, right, was like really a challenge. And there's so many different ways that game could go, and the story changed depending on which path you took. And if you messed up the good path and you went down through the middle, right, the story changed again. And it was just really, that game was really awesome. I loved the kind of on-rail shooting. I loved the homing bombs, right? Like, I mean, Star Fox 64 is just the ultimate Star Fox game. It's still the best Star Fox game, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, Star Fox on the Super Nintendo was like revolutionary, right? That game runs like 10 frames a second, and like, you know, the polygons are really cool, but like, very primitive. Obviously, really interesting for the time, but Star Fox 64 is the best Star Fox game until Ubisoft made Starlink. Honestly, Starlink was such an amazing Star Fox game.
Yes, I agree.
Everybody should play that. It's like on sale all the time. The deluxe version where you get all the ships and stuff, but you can play as Fox McCloud through the whole game, which is awesome. That's how you update Star Fox, right? We talk about sometimes where like Star Fox, if they bring it back, needs a really nice updated, like
Update.
like Breath of the Wild style update. And I think Ubisoft did an amazing job with the Star Fox campaign with Starlink.
I kind of feel like Nintendo will hire them again to make Star Fox.
I mean, they're using that tech in the Star Wars game, the Starlink tech in the Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws. Like, because like you can like fly off to another planet or whatever.
Yeah.
Starlink. If you haven't played Starlink on Switch, like I know it's on the other consoles, but the Switch version is the definitive version because you get to play as Fox.
Fox, yeah.
Fox.
So for me, I'm gonna go with Killer Instinct Gold. Because we don't have a fighter really on here. Now, I was thinking about Mortal Kombat Trilogy on N64, but that game, that and the PS1 version is busted anyway. So, because you play it for like 25 to 45 minutes, and the game crashes no matter what.
Yeah.
So to put like a fighter on this game, Killer Instinct Gold, which is Killer Instinct 2, from the arcades. I think that would be such a great game to me in this package because I'm just like, I think you need some competition in this, and I think fighting games provide that. And the dollar combos are super fun and easy to learn and stuff. I didn't choose Mischief Makers because it would have been easier. But I will say Mega Man Legends on N64 is as good as the PS1 version.
It's not Mega Man Legends. It's Mega Man 64, sir. I know it's the same game. You don't have to correct me. I'm just messing around. But there are some bangers, man. Like games we didn't add, like GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie and Conquer and Wave Race and Turok was really fun. I know, like, it's not great, but I thought it was great at the time. 1080, Cruising USA
is so man. 1080 snowboard is so good. Like, I'm sorry, SSX. I know a lot of people like that, but 1080 snowboarding was like, it's the snowboarding game for me.
Yeah, and don't forget we got stuff like Extreme G and Beetle Adventure Racing, and there's a lot of great stuff there. So N64, man, really an amazing console. Like Rogue Squadron, like I said earlier, Blast Corps.
Blast Corps, yeah. Was by Rockstar, I think. Or DMA. Was their name?
That was Space Station Silicon Valley.
I thought they did Blast Corps.
No, that was Rare.
Really?
Yeah.
What did DMA do? I thought they did
Space Station Silicon Valley. Because their other games were GTA and they were on PlayStation.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Maybe they did another N64 game, but Space Station Silicon Valley was their famous one on N64. But we also got a really great version of Rayman 2, Jet Force Gemini.
I love Jet Force Gemini. Mario Party. Was that the start of Mario Party?
Yep. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 are all on 64. 2's the best because you get to dress up. Oh man, what else?
Man, Mario Party 4 or GameCube was the ish for me. I think I like them. I think I like the mini games on there the best. Mario Party 4.
Speaking of Mario Golf and Mario Tennis both started there. Well, Mario Tennis was on the Virtual Boy, but nobody played it. So it
Paper
started there
Mario
for him.
started on Paper Mario started on the N64.
Mm-hmm. Luigi's. No, I lied. N64, not Luigi's Mansion. Sorry, everybody.
We didn't really get that many sports games. Like, what did y'all Madden come to? Come to
Madden was on the
N64?
64. Yeah.
But
Also,
not
like,
the NBA games.
no, but there are a lot of banger wrestling games people still love.
Oh, THQ and Ukes had the wrestling games on locked
Yeah.
on N64.
Yeah.
That's where I played more. I think I played more WCW games than WWF,
Mm-hmm.
even though Ukes was doing both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And THQ was releasing both of them. I think WCW had like introduced like the blood and stuff and the bar things.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Beetle Adventure Racing was super fun, which is funny because they actually like really compressed the graphics because there was only one car model and they just changed the colors of them. Even the Mickey racing game on there, I forget what it was called, but that was pretty good. Oh man, so many good ones, man. So many good ones. We could go all night, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah. So
I'm tired now.
So well, Corey, I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Wrap it up.
We still need to do this movie comments, not movie commentary, but movie recap.
I know we are. I'm just I just didn't have time to watch it. I'll watch it this weekend and we'll do it on Monday.
Okay. With that, everybody, because we are going to be talking about The Wizard finally next episode, hopefully.
Not The Wiz, The Wizard.
The Wizard, yes.
Get on
the
down,
Wiz is
get
a
on
great
down
one.
the road. No, okay, I'm done.
No, because I actually performed that. Brand New Days, when I actually performed for a charity event and everything, singing and dancing and everything. So over there, everybody,
skipping down the yellow brick road and arm in arm, and they were skipping, but like a dancing.
We did. Yeah, we actually was doing that for A Brand New Day. That's the song that we was singing. Where we was doing all that skipping and stuff. But everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on the Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Didn't expect to talk about the Wiz on this episode. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.